In the depths of the world's most mysterious caves, divers face incredible challenges and breathtaking beauty. Be with us as we are going to explore the hidden world beneath the surface and the daring souls who brave it. On August 17, 2002, Tanya Streeter achieved a historic milestone in deep-sea diving. Her mission seemed to defy human limits as she descended into the ocean's mysterious depths, setting a new world record and demonstrating the extreme challenges of deep-sea exploration. However, just a few months later, the diving community was rocked by a heartbreaking tragedy involving Audrey Mestre, a trailblazing diver whose dreams were as deep as the ocean itself. In this story, we'll explore both Tanya Streeter's remarkable success and the tragic events surrounding Audrey Mestre, revealing how their paths intersected in the world's depths. Tanya Streeter's record-breaking dive. On August 17, 2002, Tanya Streeter made history with an extraordinary deep-sea dive. Equipped with a sturdy metal sled and driven by a strong will, Tanya descended into the ocean's depths, reaching an amazing depth of 166 feet in just 35 seconds. To understand how deep that is, imagine the pressure being 3 times what we feel at sea level. Many thought this was the limit for human divers, but Tanya aimed to show otherwise. Her achievement wasn't by chance. Tanya had spent years training to handle extreme pressure. To protect her lungs from the crushing depth, she used a special liquid called plasma, similar to how athletes train for tough competitions. As she went deeper, her body adjusted to the growing pressure, highlighting her preparation and strength. However, the dive wasn't without problems. At 360 feet deep, Tanya faced a serious issue. She'd accidentally taken an extra breath before diving, which made her lungs expand too much and put extra pressure on her heart. This caused her to lose consciousness, leaving her with less air than needed for the depth. Despite these risks, Tanya continued her descent, reaching an impressive depth of 525 feet. To safely return to the surface, she had to complete 3 crucial steps: grab the lift bag, open the valve to fill it with air, and pull the pin to start her ascent. While doing this, Tanya faced nitrogen narcosis, a condition that impaired her judgment and made time feel distorted, making the task even harder. Against the odds, Tanya managed to handle this challenge and complete her ascent. Her successful dive not only set a new world record, surpassing the previous record of 427 feet held by Audrey Mestre in 2001, but also marked a milestone in diving history. Audrey Mestre's legacy and tragic end. Audrey Mestre, born on August 11, 1974 in Paris, had a deep love for the ocean from a young age. By just 2 years old, she'd already won a gold medal in a swimming competition. At 13, she started scuba diving and found joy in the underwater world. Her life changed dramatically when she was 14 and developed scoliosis from typhoid fever. This condition required her to wear a tight plastic corset for years. Swimming was her escape, allowing her to feel free from the corset's constraints. Her passion for the ocean grew stronger, leading her to study marine biology in Mexico. During her university years, Audrey admired Francisco Pipin Ferreras, a record-breaking freediver. Their professional relationship soon turned personal, and they married in 1999. Together they broke many diving records, becoming a powerful team in the freediving world. In 2000, Pipin tried to set a record by diving 535 feet, but had a blackout during his ascent, making the dive invalid. He then focused on Audrey, encouraging her to dive deeper. Audrey set a world record by diving 410 feet in Fort Lauderdale, and a year later, she dove 427 feet, breaking her own record. However, in 2002, Tanya Streeter set a new record at 525 feet, putting pressure on Audrey's team to beat this mark. Audrey aimed to dive to 561 feet to regain the record. Unfortunately, pushing the dive date earlier and using a lighter cable led to major problems. On October 9, 2002, during a practice dive, Audrey reached 558 feet. Despite some personal issues with Pipin, she proceeded with her record attempt. The dive faced several problems, including a cable that moved erratically, a broken bushing, and not enough air for the lift bag. The dive was made even more dangerous by the absence of a safety diver at 427 feet and issues with the equipment. Audrey's ascent was slowed by a faulty lift bag, and despite rescue efforts, she could not reach the surface in time. Tragically, Audrey was found at a depth of 394 feet and was pronounced dead at 28. After her death, there were rumors and questions about the dive's safety. An investigation showed technical failures and poor safety measures. Audrey was posthumously awarded the IAFD record for her practice dive and was honored in the Women Divers Hall of Fame. In 2003, Pippin set a record of 561 feet to honor Audrey's memory. No woman has surpassed Tanya Streeter's record since then. Audrey's legacy endures, and her story highlights the risks and challenges of extreme diving. Lack of investigation into Audrey Mester's death. When Audrey Mester died, there were many unanswered questions, but not much investigation was done. One reason might be that the freediving community is small and close-knit, so people were hesitant to dig too deep. Another reason could be that the dive was organized by her husband, Francisco Pippin Ferreras, who was a respected figure in the sport. This might have influenced the decision not to investigate thoroughly. Audrey's family was very worried about how she died. They wanted a deeper investigation to find out if mistakes were made. They were especially concerned that important safety measures were not followed. For example, there was no safety diver at a key depth, and the lift bag that was supposed to bring Audrey back to the surface didn't work properly. Several mistakes contributed to Audrey's death. Their experiences remind us how close triumph and tragedy can be in extreme sports, leaving a lasting impact on diving history and the memories of those who admire their legacies. Did you find these stories as inspiring and heartbreaking as I did? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of extreme sports. What other diving records or extreme sports stories would you like to hear about next? Let me know.
The Acton Cave Tragedy. Beneath the lush jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, hidden from the world, lies one of the most treacherous and awe-inspiring cave systems on the planet, Acton. A place where light barely reaches and danger lurks around every shadowed corner. But not every soul who ventures into these depths returns. Behind the breathtaking beauty of Acton lies a story of unimaginable terror and tragedy. What happened in the dark corridors of this underwater labyrinth? Why did seasoned explorers face their darkest hours here? And could something more sinister be lurking beneath? Some say the spirits of those lost still haunt the shadows. Tonight, we dive into the mystery of the Acton Cave Tragedy. It was a gorgeous Saturday on November 26, 2016, and Amy had one of the finest days of her life. But unfortunately for Amy, there was a flip side to her lovely moment. For in just a few minutes, she would find herself in a dreadful scenario, lost in complete darkness and battling with all her might just to stay alive. This is the narrative of Amy Maria Arriaga and her harrowing adventure in the Acton Cave system. According to Mexican investigators, Amy went disoriented and experienced darkness. Authorities are now establishing new criteria for Gran Cenote. Amy's adventure was limitless, and she particularly enjoyed diving. One day, she contacted her buddy Alessandro, a seasoned diver and trainer. She requested him to train her and accompany her on a diving excursion through Mexico's Acton Cave system. After a few days, the stage was ready. They were ready. She had completed all of her training and learning. Amy was meant to be the lead diver, with Alessandro following closely after and recording her exploration of the cave's depths. They decided not to descend below 40 feet and to follow the upstream line in the water all the way to the end. Unbeknownst to them, this would be a day that would leave the entire neighborhood frozen in terror and stunned by how everything turned out. Around 11:26 a.m., the two dove into the ocean and swam away. Amy, ever the courageous and adventurous spirit, led the adventure, with Alessandro close after, carrying a camera to capture every moment with his buddies. It was 25 minutes of joy, swimming and exploring before Alessandro drew Amy's attention to a natural light streaming from the entrance of another cave. It was a milestone for them, letting them know that they were on the correct track while also allowing them to check in on each other. He examined how deep they were in the water to ensure they hadn't exceeded the agreed-upon 40-foot limit. Then he checked her air supply to make sure everything was still fine. When he was satisfied, he gave them the go-ahead to continue, to which Amy eagerly responded. Eager to learn more, Little did she realize she was a few minutes away from making the worst decision of her life. Just a few meters away was a cave known as No Name. It was distinct from the others, and most travelers avoided it. The perils that lurked within were unknown, so as soon as Amy and Alessandro got there, they swam past. However, once they did, Alessandro realized something. For the first time, they were at the most beautiful portion of the cenote, with natural light streaming down from above. It was gorgeous, and he thought Amy would love to be captured in that moment. So he decided to do what any good friend would do, get Amy's attention and take a picture of her. However, in order to capture the photograph, he would have to turn off the powerful lights he was carrying, allowing just natural light to shine through. It was going to be the perfect photo. She'd enjoy it. Then, he waited briefly to switch off his lights. Amy was ignorant of her friend's plans. According to their orders, she was expected to continue leading and swimming until they reached another milestone. But because they had not yet achieved a milestone, she had to keep going. As she moved forward, she came across a somewhat puzzling sight. It was like a crossroads. There was a cave on the left and another entrance on the right that leads to another cave. Which way? Amy was very convinced she was supposed to turn left, so she did. Alessandro must not think she was inexperienced. Otherwise, he may decide to take initiative, which would mean the end of the images and movies he was capturing of her. She couldn't take the risk. She took a sharp left turn and winced, praying and hoping she wouldn't get an indication from Alessandro that she'd made a mistake. But as it turned out, even though she didn't dare look back at him, there was no sign. No flashing lights to draw her attention. Nothing. However, this is where the plot takes a terrible turn, literally. She was immediately disoriented upon entering the unfamiliar cave. They had not discussed this earlier. The cave was utterly strange-looking and quite dark. It was so dark that even with her lights, she could only see a foot in front of her. Okay, she must have taken a wrong way, and Alessandro made no attempt to correct her, only to make her appear dumb. Amy smiled to herself, searching for Alessandro, but he was nowhere in sight. Was he playing a prank? That didn't seem like him. She flashed her lights, scanning the darkness, but still no sign of him. After a full circle and several flashes, there was nothing. Despite her worry, she laughed. He couldn't be far. He was close behind just moments ago. Meanwhile, Alessandro, ready to photograph her, froze. Amy, who had just been feet away, was gone. Panicked but rational, he convinced himself she was ahead, waiting at the exit as planned. He swam around to check, but saw nothing. Alessandro anxiously awaited Amy, who hadn't appeared despite swimming to their meeting spot. Trapped in darkness, Amy struggled to breathe. Realizing she was out of air, desperately, she signaled with her lights, hoping Alessandro would find her. Alessandro, a skilled diver, surfaced to search for her, and returned with a new air tank. He retraced their route using ropes and markers, hoping Amy would spot them. But near the cenote, he found Amy's lifeless body, her air tanks empty. He attempted to resuscitate her, but it was too late. Heartbroken, he handed her body over to authorities. Amy Arriaga's tragic death marked yet another life lost to the dangers of the Grand Cenote. Since then, increased caution has been urged to future divers. The Acton cave system is a breathtaking wonder of nature, but it also reminds us of the fragility of life and the powerful forces that lie beneath the surface. As we explore and uncover the mysteries of the deep, let's never forget the courage and sacrifices of those who sought adventure and knowledge in places most of us can only dream of. If this story moved you, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who loves to explore the unknown, and subscribe for more stories from the edge of human experience. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.
How did a simple dive become a tragic story that took days to solve? Agnes Maloa was a brave cave diver with a deep love for the underwater world. Born in Poland in 1981, she moved to Melbourne as a child. Her life changed during a dive at Ningaloo Reef in 2002, which sparked her passion for exploring the ocean. Agnes went on to set a record for the deepest female cave dive in Australia and shared her adventures through her photos and writing. Although she tragically died in Tank Cave in February 2011, her legacy continues to inspire ocean lovers everywhere. Early life and passion for diving. Agnes Maloa was born on December 23, 1981 in Poland and moved with her family to Melbourne, Australia during her childhood. Her life took a profound turn in 2002 when she experienced her first dive at Ningaloo Reef in Western Australia. The vibrant marine life and the underwater landscape captivated her, sparking a deep-seated passion for diving that would define her life. Just 2 weeks after this initial dive, Agnes eagerly signed up for an open-water diving course, marking the beginning of her diving journey. Initially drawn to the colorful coral reefs and diverse fish, her interest expanded as she gained more experience, leading her to become fascinated with shipwrecks and their hidden histories. One of her most memorable dives was exploring the Scuttle J4 submarine wreck off Victoria, an experience she described with great enthusiasm. "It was so very cool. I can't say enough about it. I want to do more wrecks." Each dive fueled her growing passion. Agnes, a journey into cave diving. Agnes's exploration of the underwater world led her to study maritime archaeology at Flinders University. Her aim was to gain a deeper understanding of the ocean's history and to learn how to protect it. In 2004, during a snorkeling trip at Mount Gambier, an accidental fall into a deep sinkhole sparked her interest in cave diving. This incident drove her to spend a year in Florida, where she honed her advanced cave diving skills. Agnes quickly emerged as a prominent figure in Australian cave exploration, known for her willingness to tackle challenging and tight spaces. As an accomplished underwater photographer and videographer, she shared her incredible experiences with the world. Her collaborations with National Geographic and her role as a stunt diver in James Cameron's film Sanctum further highlighted her dedication to showcasing the beauty and mystery of underwater environments. Agnes Maloa's last blog post before the dive. In late 2010, Agnes Maloa wrote on her blog about Tank Cave in South Australia, calling it a hidden gem. She was excited about the cave's stunning beauty and complex passages. Agnes shared how thrilling it was to explore new areas and navigate tight spaces, saying, "The thrill of exploring new underwater passages and discovering hidden treasures is unmatched." She also stressed the need for careful preparation and respect for the environment. Sadly, this cave, which Agnes loved so much, would later become the site of her final tragic dive. The tragic incident of Agnes Maloa. On February 27, 2011, Agnes Maloa entered a tragic accident during a dive in Tank Cave, South Australia. She was exploring with a group of 10 divers when she decided to venture into a narrow, uncharted passage. To navigate this tight space, Agnes had to remove one of her tanks, a technique known as no mounting, which left her with only one tank of air. After squeezing through the passage, Agnes realized she was stuck in a dead end. As she tried to turn back, the visibility dropped drastically due to silt in the water, making it extremely difficult to see or find her way. Despite her extensive training and experience, the challenging conditions overwhelmed her. Agnes ran out of air, and she drowned. The cave's layout, described as a complex labyrinth with fragile walls, added to the danger. Her dive partner, who was waiting for her to return, eventually surfaced to alert the authorities. A search was launched, but ended in heartbreak when Agnes was found. Agnes Maloa's body was found on March 1, 2011, 4 days after her tragic accident in Tank Cave. Despite the extensive search efforts by diving teams and local authorities, locating her was challenging due to the cave's complexity. Her body was discovered near a reserve cylinder with usable gas, highlighting the tragic circumstances of her final dive. Facing challenges. Agnes was always open about the challenges she faced in diving, including equipment failures and close calls. She emphasized the importance of staying calm and prepared in difficult situations. Her mantra was to live life to the fullest, as tomorrow is never guaranteed. In late 2010, she wrote passionately about Tank Cave, describing it as a hidden treasure with stunning beauty and intricate passages. Sadly, this very cave became the site of her tragic end. Despite the sorrow of her final dive, Agnes's spirit and passion for exploration continue to inspire divers around the world. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the risks associated with extreme sports and the importance of pursuing one's dreams while respecting these risks. Agnes Maloa, sharing passion and inspiring exploration. Agnes Maloa's dive into the world's caves was more than just exploration, it was a mission to share her passion and knowledge with others. Through her blog post and photographs, she revealed the hidden beauty of underwater caves, motivating both experienced and novice divers to explore. Agnes stressed the importance of thorough preparation and safety, balancing the thrill of exploration with careful planning and environmental respect. Agnes's adventurous spirit made a big difference in the cave diving world. Her new techniques and discoveries are praised by other divers and have changed how people explore underwater caves. By mapping unknown cave systems, she opened up new exploration opportunities and set high standards for others. The Agnes Maloa Memorial Environmental Science Award, which helps schools with science resources, shows how her legacy lives on. Also, some geological features are named after her, keeping her contributions to diving and exploration in the spotlight and inspiring future adventurers. Agnes Maloa's journey serves as a powerful reminder of both the beauty and the dangers of exploration. Her deep love for the underwater world and her relentless drive to reveal its secrets continue to inspire us to follow our passions. What motivated Agnes to push the boundaries of cave diving despite the risks? How can adventurers balance the thrill of discovery with the need for safety? What lessons can we learn from Agnes's story about living life to its fullest? Let us know in the comments section below, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel.
Yuri Lipsky's helmet camera recorded his entire terrifying last dive into the blue hole, capturing his struggle and final breaths. The blue hole in Egypt is known as the Diver Cemetery because about 130 to 200 divers have died there due to its deep waters and tricky underwater tunnels. Cave diving is very dangerous, often leading to deaths from equipment problems, getting lost, and running out of air. Yuri Lipsky's dive into the blue hole of Dahab's coast on April 28, 2000 is a terrifying reminder of the dangers lurking under peaceful waters. This extensive story explores the events that led to Yuri's sad dive, emphasizing the complexity of deep-sea diving, the hazardous nature of the blue hole, and the long-term consequences of a young diver lost to the ocean depths. On April 28, 2000, 22-year-old Yuri Lipsky went out on his final dive into the blue hole in Dahab, Egypt. The blue hole, one of the world's most deadly diving spots, has taken many lives. But Yuri's death is especially tragic since it was captured on his helmet camera. The Blue Hole is a famous diving spot near Dahab, Egypt, on the southeast coast of Sinai Peninsula. It's known for its beautiful, deep blue waters and mysterious appeal. This underwater sinkhole goes down over 100 meters deep. It has a shallow opening to the sea called the Saddle, which is about 6 meters deep. There is also a long tunnel known as the Arch, with its ceiling at 55 meters at bottom reaching about 120 meters. Beyond the blue hole, the sea floor drops steeply to over 1,000 meters. The blue hole is filled with corals and reef fish, making it a beautiful diving spot. However, it's also very dangerous. The site is over with free divers because its depth and lack of strong currents, but it has also claimed many lives. Between 130 and 200 divers have died here, giving it the nickname Diver Cemetery. The reasons of these deaths are not entirely clear. The blue hole, with its stunning beauty and deceptive calm, continues to attract divers from around the world. Yet, it serves as a stark reminder of the ocean's hidden dangers, claiming the lives of many who venture into its depths. Yuri Lipsky, a 22-year-old Russian diving enthusiast and instructor, arrived in Dahab seeking adventure and exploration. Despite warnings from local authorities and seasoned divers regarding the danger of the blue hole's depths, armed with minimal equipment and a helmet-mounted camera to document his journey, Yuri descended into the depths, unaware of the harrowing ordeal that awaited him. Yuri's dive into the blue hole ended in tragedy as he moved beyond the safe limits for recreational diving, with his control device malfunctioning, which helps divers regulate their depth, and lacking the necessary training for such a deep dive. Yuri faced dangerous circumstances. As he dropped,
He consumed his oxygen supply at an alarming rate, despite his best efforts to stop his descent and return to the surface. Yuri was unable to deal with the increasing pressure and darkness of the hole below. His terrible death serves as a harsh warning of the darkness that lurked under the calm surface of the blue hole. Yuri Lipsky's unfortunate death reflects a common trend of diving accidents in places like Dean's Blue Hole in the Bahamas and Eagle's Nest Sink in Florida. Divers face dangerous situations in the pursuit of adventure and knowledge. These sad stories remind us to always put safety first when exploring the deep sea. One of the most chilling parts of Yuri Lipsky's sad story is the video taken by his helmet camera. In those 7 minutes, you see Yuri fighting to stay alive as he goes deeper and deeper into the darkness. It's heartbreaking to watch him try to find a way out, knowing that he won't make it. In addition to Yuri Lipsky, many divers have lost their lives at the Blue Hole, making it infamous for its high number of diving fatalities. This video is a powerful reminder of how fragile life is when we're against the forces of nature. Yuri Lipsky's last recorded video is a haunting account of his final moments. In the footage, you can see him descending into the depths of the Blue Hole, a popular but dangerous diving spot in Egypt. However, his dive took a drastic turn as he went too deep without proper equipment or training. As Yuri descended rapidly, his buoyancy control device failed, causing him to sink uncontrollably. He also suffered from nitrogen narcosis, a condition caused by breathing compressed air at high pressure, which can lead to confusion and poor judgment. The video shows Yuri struggling to regain control, but he could not overcome the increasing pressure and lack of oxygen. Tragically, Yuri's adventure ended in his untimely death, serving as a stark reminder of the risk involved in deep-sea diving. Yuri Lipsky's death had caused the diving community to reconsider how we approach safely. It's time to take a closer look at our procedures, training, and risk management strategies. From double-checking our gear before diving to make sure everyone has the right training, we're realizing just how crucial it is to put safety first. By creating a culture where we all watch out for each other and take responsibility for our actions, we can work together to prevent tragedies like Yuri from happening again. As we remember Yuri and the impact he had, let's turn our sadness into something positive. By continuing to learn, speak up for safety, and work together, we can honor his memory. Let's strive to make diving safer for everyone who loves exploring the underwater world. Yuri's story is a reminder of the dangers of diving, but also the beauty and wonder it holds. Let's inspire future divers to approach the ocean with caution, respect, and a strong focus on staying safe. In summary, Yuri Lipsky's tragedy reminds us of the risk and rewards of deep-sea diving. His journey into the mysterious depths of the Blue Hole and the loss of a young explorer to the sea leaves us with valuable lessons and heartfelt reflections. As we move forward, let's honor Yuri's memory by prioritizing safety, responsibility, and unity in diving community. Let's ensure that his legacy lives on as a guiding light, reminding us to approach the ocean with caution, bravery, and empathy. But there are some questions for you. What steps can the diving community take to enhance safety and prevent similar tragedies in the future? How can we make sure divers stay safe while exploring the ocean's depths, especially in challenging environments like the Blue Hole? Let's come together to make diving safer and more sustainable. Join us in advocating for better safety standards, supporting educational efforts, and practicing responsible diving habits. Together, we can honor Yuri's memory and protect the wonders of the underwater world for generations to come. That's it for today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel.